Next up, we have our Dolphin tank, which is our gentler, kinder version of the Shark Tank. So don't be worried, Cory. Here's Cory. Cory, it's a safe environment.
I hope so.
So our facilitator today is Les Landis. He's a nationally recognized expert. I'll give you this mic in a minute. He's a nationally recognized expert on employee engagement. He's the author of a business fable, Getting to the Heart of Employee Engagement. His work is grounded in his mission to guide organizations in creating a high-performance culture of trust where people love to work and customers love doing business. Drawing on his expertise as a certified Lean Six Sigma professional, he offers clients an array of processes and tools for systematic, continuous improvement. So,
So if it isn't evident from what you already experienced, what Cynthia said at the very beginning is really the core of what this organization is all about. This is really about helping people. And we do that in a variety of ways, certainly having great presentations like the one you just saw with Nadine and others. And sometimes we focus on specific individuals. And in this particular case, that's what we're doing today with the Dolphin tank. How many of you have seen Shark Tank? So you all know it can get a little brutal sometimes, right? So Cynthia said this is a kinder, gentler version of the Shark Tank. And it'll probably give you an opportunity to see what you might be able to do, and sitting in the same kind of position that Cory is going to be in here in a moment. So the process is 3 steps. First of all, Cory is going to make a presentation for 5 minutes. And then for 3 minutes, we will ask clarifying questions for what it is that he needs help with, because that's going to be one of the keys. He's going to talk about who he is, what he does, what his challenge is, and what he wants help from us on. And so he's going to talk for 5 minutes. We're going to ask clarifying questions for 3 minutes. And then we're going to be able to offer our recommendations and our brilliant ideas from all these geniuses in the room about how we can help Cory with the challenges that he's going to be facing. So, Cory?
Absolutely. Thank you, Les. Good morning, everyone. As Les said, my name is Cory Lambert. I am with Property Pros Realty, and I'm a real estate agent. There we are. So who I am, real estate agent with Property Pros Realty. This is my 3rd year in the industry, but my 1st year as a full-time real estate agent. We are a boutique agency. It's just myself and my broker. One of the things that led me to this industry, aside from helping people, is that I am passionate about historic properties in particular and doing renovations. So yes, I do watch all those home renovation shows, Aaron. And also recently I've gotten into salvaging architectural materials for repurpose and reuse. So of course, what I do from a day-to-day perspective, I do assist buyers and sellers in a variety of ways. I mean, obviously there is the pre-transaction piece, helping the buyers get pre-approved and get ready to purchase a home, as well as sellers, helping them get their properties ready to sell. Mid-transaction, guiding and mentoring my clients through that entire process and being their advocate. Post-transaction, of course, once a deal is closed, that's not the end. I like to follow up with my clients, make sure that everything is going well, and just maintain that connection. Because even after the deal is closed, they may have a need from either myself or another professional that I can recommend to them. I also do personal home renovations myself on my own house. I'm in the middle of installing some wood flooring that I salvaged from a house built in 1936. So that's my big project at the moment. And of course, continuing to look for more materials to salvage for repurpose, whether it's for myself or somebody else I might know. My dream, though, is to fully restore a historical property and create some sort of a business, whether it's hosting events or providing tours for people to see that historic property that they might not otherwise get a chance to. Who I serve as well in general, of course, as any real estate agent does, we help anybody who is looking to buy or sell. For our agency in particular, we can help with residential sales, commercial, or land as well. Specifically, though, I am starting to seek consumers who are looking for historical properties in particular. And then in my spare time, of course, consumers who are seeking architectural materials to use for their own purposes. So here's the challenge that I've been formulating in my mind. I'm wanting to grow and connect more with this target market of consumers who are looking for historical properties. But I don't want to dilute my overall business of helping people buy and sell properties in general. So what I've done already, of course, social media. I think that's pretty much everybody's number one go-to these days. I'm not a big social media person, but Facebook and Instagram are the two that I'm most familiar with and utilize. Of course, with posting, I've done ads. I'm starting to get more into videos, but like yourself, Jeff, that's just a struggle for me. I'm not very good at it. It's not my forte. I have sought out historical groups to connect with as well on Facebook. I'm currently a part of 10 of those groups, although I keep seeing more and more pop up. And of course, continuing to look for historical architectural sites to salvage materials from to continue down that avenue as well. And that is a bit more about me, but clarifying questions I would welcome at this time.
Okay, you said you have a challenge, and you put it
Yes.
up there, and I might not have heard what you said. Could you repeat it
Go back
for
to it.
clarity?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
There you go. Just leave that up.
So the challenge is, number one, how do I grow and connect more with this target market? Consumers who are looking for historical properties for either personal or business use. And the second part to that challenge is, how do I do this without diluting my space in the general overall real estate market as well? Yeah, absolutely.
I'm intrigued by your business, so I have another question for you. One of the things that runs through my mind, and I'm glad you put that up there because it did clarify for me that I did hear you correctly. Do you think that what it takes, to go into business for yourself, to be an entrepreneur, takes the fire in your belly, burning desire, you gotta get it done, and it takes courage. So you could be inundated all the time with things that are not in your lane. So it sounds like you've got the passion. Do you think that you need to just really hone it in and stay in your lane, and when all these other deals come up, figure out a referral to other people for them, and then they know to refer back to you, or am I off the track?
No, absolutely.
Question or suggestion?
I know,
It's a little
you
bit
know
of
what?
both, but-
Yeah, I know, I blend them a lot.
Yeah, no, great question,
Short response.
as well as suggestion.
Yeah.
And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. Maybe not immediately, but in the future, I would like to shift solely to historical properties.
Are you looking for residential properties in like the city, the county, or further out, or any specific area?
Anywhere in Missouri.
Okay, that was my question.
And are they residential or like hotels
Either.
or big properties or? just
Residential
all of
or
them?
commercial.
Okay.
Have you researched the target audience enough to know of the need for this? Because you can have a desire to want to do something, but is there a need? And what are the geos of that need?
I would say no, because I'm not quite sure how to research that target market.
I know someone.
What specifically is your challenge with diluting your message? Is it in your messaging, like the words that people actually read, or is it in the, that's what I don't understand.
Sure. So as I get this message out there and really plant myself as the historical property guy, I don't want people to not think of me for any other type of deal.
Regular stuff.
Yeah.
No, I get that, but what I'm wondering is like, what's your message like now? Is it?
Yes, yeah.
So
I feel what you're saying,
Yeah.
because I experienced that as a personal trainer. I was just curious, like, what the, what your actual message is now, like your.
So being this new in my business, it is still all about anybody who is ready to buy or sell.
Okay, thank you, got it.
Absolutely,
All
that's
right,
great.
let's take one more question
Yeah.
back there, yeah.
Just two quick things. So geographically, it's St. Louis, you said the whole state of Missouri? Or
Primarily, yes, I'm licensed in the whole
include
state,
Illinois?
but St. Louis County all the way out to Jefferson County,
Okay.
Montgomery
And
County.
then number two, of the restoration work that you do you have a specialty within that? Is there a certain type of material you're best working with, a certain type of era, anything niche within that restoration category?
No particular category of materials,
Okay.
just anything that we can salvage for repurpose or reuse. For historical period, really the 19th century going into the early 20th century is
Okay.
my forte.
All right, so now next 10 minutes, yeah.
Do we have a scribe?
Thank you. I'll go ahead and do that. So next 10 minutes, offer your
I
recommendations.
can put water on if that's
Oh, that'd be
better.
great, I appreciate it.
Give me a second to
Hold on
pull
one
it up real
second.
quick.
Thank you. We do have the recording here, but it's good to
This will
summarize
make
the
it
point.
a little quicker.
Our tech guru.
Okay.
Here we go. If you need to repeat the question, if he needs to repeat the question.
Okay, I'll do it. You want me to repeat the question?
Yeah, if
Okay.
you need to repeat it or say anything in there.
Okay.
And you can tell what it's catching by looking at.
Okay, great.
Okay, so my first thing is, I would say have two different websites. One for your historical properties, which has something with that name in the URL, but also has say powered by your realty company. Number two, with your message, make sure to know that you do historic properties all the way to the common sale. Because it's all, again, in your messaging, how you do it, but definitely, obviously, lead with historical properties. The final thing is create a group on LinkedIn for historical properties that people will come to, post once a week, and you'll draw your own audience in, and will be further than obviously St. Louis, but maybe you become the expert on whatever it is. Finally, just maybe you write a little book over time, talk to Will Henke and performance group meetings, and become the expert on that.
Absolutely, thank you. Great suggestions, Mark. Bill?
Will Henke has one of our videos, it's one of the videos here, and he did a fabulous presentation about how I started an industry group and got 1,000 clients in 30 days or
Wow.
something like this. And this is window shades, window treatments. All right, and so he started the group, and everybody wanted to join it.
Experts for Entrepreneurs YouTube channel, search Will Henke.
Okay, thank you. Darlene?
Two things. You mentioned that you belong to some historical groups on Facebook.
Yes.
Consider the possibility of actually being physically present at a historical group.
Yes.
In Webster, Kirkwood, wherever those places are. I'm not educated in that at all, that was a guess.
Mhm.
And the second thing would be finding the contractors who are actually tearing these down and start building relationships with them, because then they're also gonna know the other end of that, who needs a house, or who needs to sell their house. So those are my two recommendations.
Absolutely, thank you very much. Dan?
I would consider, we have I say we, I don't live in the city any longer, but there's a new mayor in the city of St. Louis, and there's a lot of effort being put into revitalization. And there are some people working closely with her, and supporting her to try to actually put some of those theories. She's got a tall order in front of her to turn this around, but living in St. Louis, all of us know this, but we have incredible architecture here, so many brick buildings, clay in the ground. Our city is just rich with this. I don't need to tell you that. But I know Kara Spencer, the new mayor, is very, very intent on revitalization. And getting to know some of the people working alongside her could be really helpful because there will be plenty of opportunities.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Morgan?
You said that you refurbish materials. So for your restoring purposes, do you use a heavier duty material so it would last longer? Or do you try to the letter, mimic what they used in the original constructions?
Absolutely, great question. So I try and keep everything I salvage as original as possible, just restoring it,
Okay.
so it has continued life and longevity.
I would advertise that.
So there are like two ways that you can attract an audience online and then use that attention to promote your business. One is the direct way. You go, hey, I'm your guy. If you want to restore an old property, come to me. I offer that service. That's the direct way. The indirect way is to attract an audience that's related to your passion that you have for your topic. I think you would do really well with video in particular if you became like the St. Louis the hidden history of St. Louis, like architectural gems, like you're focusing on, like, you'll never believe the history of this statue or this old house or whatever. And so you're kind of attracting people just fascinated with history and older structures from the late 1800s, early 1900s. And you would attract a wider audience, but within that, you let them know, hey, this is what I do. But it's not your main focus of the video. And YouTube would really do well, and you can repurpose those videos on Instagram, TikTok, and other places. So you have a passion for this, right? You genuinely love this, restoring this stuff, so share that passion.
Yeah.
And you can.
Awesome, thank you. Matt?
So, to echo those things, I would hire a video person, someone who knows exactly how to get engagement. You're so personal, and you could totally be that guy. You're very likable. Like, if you just instantly, people would be drawn to that. So I think that's worth the investment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's one right back there, by the way.
Yep.
Theo.
Theo?
He's the expert.
I was just, exactly. And I was gonna recommend Refab STL.
Yes.
It's Eric Schwartz is there, he's great. He has a contract with the city, he dismantles houses and recycles for the city.
Absolutely. Cynthia?
Yeah, there's a place just across the river called the National Building Arts Center. Have you been there?
I have not.
Have you heard about it?
I have not.
It is this giant facility, and it's all reclaimed, what do you call that building, parts and pieces
Yep.
from all over St. Louis. And so they even have a library there. So that's definitely a place to check out. Also, what about planning commissions? I'm also thinking LinkedIn too for you.
Okay.
It's amazing how often we forget about LinkedIn, and I have seen business people have huge success, and I can give you the name of someone who's a LinkedIn expert and can give you, set you up.
Okay, perfect.
There's
Yes.
also groups, I just checked.
All right.
I agree with what our friend on the other side of the room, who just walked out for a second, said in terms of you going and meeting the new mayor in St. Louis, Jaros. She's going to be super enthused, and she's also involved with a group in St. Louis called Greater St. Louis Incorporated. They're an economic development agency. They would love to meet you, and what you're saying over there, Mr. Mustache, you're so personable.
Well, thank
that
you.
people will really take to you. And if you not only get to know them and get them excited about you, but also in Forest Park, the Museum of History is not just, for the the people who want to go there and tour it, but if you get to know the people in there, they're going to be very interested in you. I think that'd help you a tremendous amount.
Absolutely. I'm long overdue for a visit.
And good luck.
Thank you. Mark?
So I want to continue on with what Bob said. I would do videos showing the piece that you've reclaimed and say, how do you think we can use this? And show a before and after of how you've taken whatever that magical piece is and create some mystery about it and do like a part 2 and show places that it could be and say, well, this is where it really ended up. Here's what we did and show your handiwork that way.
Great idea. I have a lot of pieces to use. Kara?
One area you could focus in on is being a connector instead of a doer in there, because you are so personable, but being the connector between that building being torn down and how it can be used. So you aren't physically doing the work, but you're connecting the dream of what you want to do. You're the connector in it.
Absolutely.
And you become that expert.
Thank you. Great suggestion. Steve?
Yeah, I love what you're doing, Cory, and it's relatively unique. I'm not aware of anybody doing a lot of that stuff. What I'd like to recommend to you is there is this new phenomenon in real estate called staging, right? You're familiar with it. A lot of people are doing virtual staging.
Right.
And there is a lot of old home inventory in the marketplace. Perhaps you reach out to the Real Estate Staging Association or one of the major staging associations, find out if anybody else focuses on, older homes, and then talk with them about would they do virtual stages if you provide, video where you do an iPhone photo of a walkthrough of an older listing. And maybe that could be a way for you to highlight an existing listing with your idea of adding some salvage materials and how it might improve that listing as a potential product in the marketplace. So kind of help you, attack making revenue from selling houses and focus on your specialty.
Absolutely. Thank you, Steve.
One last thing, go ahead.
Just from an overall perspective picture here, you've got a ton of great suggestions. Just looking at this challenge right here, though.
Yes.
If it were me, I might just cross out everything after properties, starting with without, and just focus on the first part of that statement.
Yes.
Because when you do that, you're going to naturally attract everybody, but your message gets a little foggy when you're also trying to figure out how to not dilute the other side. So I would say just focus on the front end of that statement. And
What Aaron
naturally track it.
What Aaron just said reminded me of something that a marketing guru told me years ago. He said, it's a lot better to have a huge piece of a small pie than a little piece of a big pie.
Yeah.
So focus on the thing that's really your strength and go for that. So any wrap-up comments you'd like to make?
Just want to thank everybody for their time, their suggestions. I heard a lot of great ideas that I hadn't even thought of. Just from a social media perspective, I didn't have LinkedIn in my presentation, and I don't know why. I'm on LinkedIn, but I never think to really use it. So thank you all very much. I appreciate it.